in 2021, I went through a breakup, and it was with somebody that I was with for a while, since I was like 21 up until like 33. And I didn't realize, I feel like I allowed that relationship to like take over like so much of my life and not really noticing that I wasn't paying as much attention to my child, if that makes sense. Um, but I was giving like love, more love to someone else. Um, Not that I wasn't like loving my child, but I feel like I wasn't focusing on her as much as I should have. And with the breakup, it just opened my eyes, and I started realizing, maybe how I would speak to her, or just certain things or certain ways I would like react to her and things. And also like just being in that relationship, um, it caused me to be more angry than anything. And I was really taking that anger out on my child.
Okay, so I'm hearing you say that there was a relationship that it was taking up so much space, so much attention that, of course, you still showed your child love. You were still taking care. You were still doing all of the things, but you know personally that it felt like this kind of relationship was even swallowing up space that was included, intended just for her. Right. That's what I'm hearing is that your
Mhm.
this relationship was eating up more space than it should have, including the space inside of your own mind. Like it sounded like this dude or this person put you through it in a sense that they didn't just occupy your
Mhm.
time, they were occupying your energy, but more than they were giving back in a positive return. Am I getting somewhere close here?
Mhm. That's correct.
What's so fascinating, Janelle, is that I know people, this is like hitting close to home because uh, I've seen my parents go through the exact same situation with us. And, you know, for me, I'm thinking that here is someone who is coming to the family. What was the relationship between this person and your daughter? Was that at least was that cool?
Um, I don't know. uh, I don't even really know how she truly felt about him. I don't know. I forgot what she said, but I guess she
But I
just
guess
kind
she
of
just
like dealt with him.
Let me get back. You're saying I guess she just kind of just dealt with him. Um, okay, so here we have a relationship that's taking up space. We have a moment. You may not know the specific moment, but there's a recognition that, oh wait, I just said something to my daughter that I shouldn't have, or in a way that didn't feel like it was me, in a way that didn't feel like it was authentic. In fact, there's a frustration that you were taking out onto the daughter. And my question is where's the reflection? In other words, where's the place where is there a place where your mother was, where the same thing happened in your mother's relationship? What I'm saying is there a place where you're seeing that this behavior that you've shown to your daughter is somehow reflective of your own relationship with your mother?
Um, yeah, just thinking back to, like, how I grew up, and I guess her being a single mom of 3, and, um, I'm sure that was frustrating for her to be a single mom of 3, so she probably was taking her frustration out on us, and not really wanting to, but then also thinking about how she was raised, like, how they were raised. So my mom is 73, and, people back then were raised completely we gotta heal from a lot of stuff from back then that was passed along to us. Um, so yeah, her probably just being, like, frustrated, being a mom, single mom of 3, and taking her anger out on us and not really, you know, not really taking the time to actually heal, but that's not really her fault because back then, they weren't really talking about none of this, so.
But nevertheless, what you're seeing and what we do a lot on this show is we talk about that generational healing because we are at a point talking about generational trauma. The thing about the trauma is that it doesn't really belong to anybody. You know what I'm saying? It kind of just gets passed along to everybody, though. You dig what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like I'm hearing you say that there was a habit of having external noise, be it noise from being a single mother, in your mother's case, noise from the pressure of, okay, I got to make sure I take care of these 3 kids. There's external noise. I got to pay these bills. I got to make sure, right? There's all this external tension. And if we're not aware, that external tension can get filtered through us and pass along to our children, which was the same thing that happened to her parents before her, as I'm hearing you say, but it's also the same thing that happens to you when you get into this new relationship back in 2021. And that external pressure, it grows so loud that it starts to affect how you move. It affects your energy, it affects your mood, it affects how you're thinking, how you're speaking. And then of course you take that different sort of Janelle into an environment with your own children and naturally they get exposed to all of that external pressure, all of that externalized energy. And so real quick, the question that I have before we get real, before we just go straight to what I'm most interested in is, when it comes to this, what's been the number one for you? What's the one recurring thought or feeling that's been hardest for you to let go of lately?
Say it again. I gotta
Yep. I said, what's the one recurring thought or feeling that's been hardest for you to let go of lately?
mm,
Because the question I'm having is this still affecting, you know, your relationship with your daughter, your relationship? It's not just about your daughter, nor is it just about this other relationship with this person that sounds like already ended, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I wonder if these habits of having the external energy of the world come through and affect the people that you care about most, has that been showing up for you anywhere in your relationship? The better question is in what way has it been showing up for you in your relationships to this day?
um, I don't know, I feel stuck. Ooh, that's something I gotta think. I feel so stuck right now. I don't even know what to say. Wow.
So take your
I don't
time.
know if
The
I
the
ever really fully thought about it.
that's a part of why a conversation like this is so important is because we're just pointing your attention to that process of taking on energy
Mm.
from the external and silently and quietly carrying it within you until it affects the people that trust you the most, that love you the most. And so we can't fix something until we got the attention on it. You know what I'm saying? We got to shine that light. We got to put it on the jumbotron, as it were, in the sense of we want to make sure that we know what we're dealing with. And so it's okay that the thought isn't immediately popping up to you. The beautiful part is that now there's a tension going where it wasn't flowing before. And so the real question that I want to ask you right now, and you can stop me at any time if you have, if new thoughts, new ideas, if there is a recurring one thought that is occurring to you right now, you can stop me at any time, because I know that it takes this moment, it takes this inner looking, this ability to say, okay, I got to shut out the external and turn it back around and say, okay, what's really going on
Mhm.
inside? And taking that moment to say,
Yeah.
okay, what is that recurring? What's the one recurring thought or feeling? Let's take a moment. Actually, we got time. We got time. Chat is saying, were you feeling you were allowing history to
Mm.
repeat itself? Great question. But for right now, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
well, you oh,
Yeah. That was good. Um, yes. I was I did realize that I was allowing history to repeat itself. And
when, so okay, when did you see that? When was that moment where you were like, okay, hold on, I'm allowing history to repeat itself. I've seen this part before, and it don't sit right.
the moment when I realized that I was allowing, like, other people to kinda, like, dictate how I treated my daughter, like, or affect how I treated my daughter, um, like, just being so frustrated about people that didn't really matter, and my focus being in the wrong in the wrong place. Um, it was just that relationship just revealed a lot to me, like, a lot about what my focus really was. Sorry.
No, you're perfect. I'm hearing you say that twin. So yeah, twin. Shout out to you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for seeing, for asking that question, which is that you're seeing that history is repeating itself, and you're seeing that there is an allowance. I'm allowing these other people to influence how I raise, how I love, how I deal. with this young life. And
Mhm.
for the moment that you recognize that, what can happen is that you start blaming yourself, but blame isn't really the word. It's more than just taking responsibility. It's more like stop loving yourself properly, right? Like you recognize that, wait, I let this person do this to me and it affected her and she didn't ask for any of this, right? And so I'm the one that's the issue. And what happens is that there can be this blame is the best word that's coming to my mind right now. Like self blame is different than self accountability, different than self responsibility. It's the kind of blame that takes up so much space that the self love kind of moves out of the picture. Did you feel any of that? Did you feel like, oh man,
Mhm.
that there was a moment where it wasn't just you taking responsibility, it was you involving yourself in a self blame?
Mm. Yeah. Uh, I just can't pinpoint the moment where I felt that way, but I know that I did feel that way. Um, I can't pinpoint the moment.
That's okay. The beautiful part is that you got people in the chat, Tyra Leslie, who's saying, take your time, cuz, open up, you got this. People are saying, so brave and courageous, sending love and hugs to you. Oh my gosh. Okay, the fam came out. The fam came out. You
Mm,
know, this is one of those beautiful moments where it's like we don't need to get all the facts straight. We don't need to get all the details straight. We just need the attention to be flowing to the right place. Because again, once that attention flows, once we know what we're dealing with now, it's addressable. It's addressable. And so the fact that
mhm.
you're turning that attention back around, oh wow. If you got nothing else out of tonight, but just that ability to turn that attention back around to say, wait, what's actually going on here? And so really the final question that I want to ask before I jump into everything that I need to is, if you could believe one new truth about yourself tonight, what would it be? I'll say that one more time. If you could believe one new truth about yourself tonight, what would it be?
Um, that I'm more courageous, that I'm more courageous than what I think. Um, I'm braver than what I think, and I've always been brave.
More courageous than what you think, braver than what you think. Okay. Okay. When you think back to this moment, if you're saying that courage is, that the bravery is what you're talking about, what is most salient, like it sounds like when we go back to this relationship and we go back to that moment, we're not interested in just doing something about it to get us to feel good for a moment. We want to make sure that we're addressing what's really feels like it's missing so that you're able to move forward into the future with a new kind of presence. And so when you say courage, I'm hearing you say that in this relationship there wasn't a lot of courage. There wasn't a lot of bravery. There was a it must have felt more like a top down pressure. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I just want to know, how did fear show up for you when you were in that relationship, when you were allowing that energy to pass through you and of course affect your own daughter? Did it feel like
Mm.
did it feel like fear? Did it feel like more fear than courage? Because if courage is the thing that was absent, I want to know what fear was doing.
Um, I guess fear was making me feel as though I didn't deserve better, um, or not thinking highly of myself and pretty much settling when I knew I could do better, but it was the fear of, like, the unknown. So, it was the fear unknown, and it was the fear of growth. I didn't wanna grow, you know?
Okay, perfect. So I got everything that I need. I'm hearing you say that there was a fear of unknown. I could stay, I could leave this relationship, but what would I do? Where would I go next? What if the next person doesn't come along fast enough or at all? Or right, there can be all of these little mind games, all of these tricks we play on ourselves in order to stay in the present situation because of that fear of the unknown, as you're articulating. And so I'm hearing you, the other part of you say, but wait, I recognize that there's a courage that's greater than that fear. Hmm. I recognize that I have something in me that,
Yeah,
yeah, see, y'all can't hear her, but she's saying, yes, I'm recognizing that there's more to me than this. And so let's work with that. Let's work with that. I need to get a sense of, actually, I can probably just feel this. Okay, Janelle, there's a moment when thoughts about the past and about this person still enter into your mind. There's a moment throughout the day when you could be washing dishes, you could be watching TV, you could be driving, and you see somebody who has the same car as, or you see somebody uh, who resembles the person that you were previously in this relationship with. And what happens is that the very it's not even the person, it's just a person that looks like the person. And what it does is it triggers a whole cascade of emotions, a whole cascade of memories, including of what we're talking about tonight, this externalized force that is getting you to behave and act in ways that you wouldn't, were the decision completely yours, right? So you're now acting with this energy and acting it out on somebody else. And then the memory of that is all triggered just by a Subaru or a Honda or whatever this person is driving. You dig what I'm saying? Like, just because it looked like the car that the person that you were in the relationship with used to have. And so what we want to do is start to deal with the thoughts directly. Because the beautiful part is once we learn how to deal with that externalized energy, that energy comes through, and it comes through in the form of thoughts, and it comes through in the form of memories, and it comes through in the form of emotions or feelings. Right? So we want to know how to actually convert when that energy comes in, be it from the next relationship, or if this person happens to re-enter into your life. We want to be able to make sure that Janelle has the tools necessary so that as she is giving this energy, as somebody's bringing whatever it is that they bring to you, you understand how to say, wait a minute, I know what's me and I know what is not me. I know what is relevant, what God has placed in my heart, and I know what is not relevant to me. So I'm not going to take whatever the energy that somebody else would force on me and give it to the people I love. I'm going to turn your body into a temple, turn your body into a sacred vessel where naturally you're able to push out, or rather, I should say, witness and then deal with all of this energy, this externalized energy that others would bring to you. Because I think what you'll find and what people at home will find is that folks have their agendas. But when those agendas do not align with our highest thoughts, our highest destiny, then it's up to us to be able to let those agendas go and not attach ourselves to them and certainly not act them out. And so I know people at home are feeling me right now. And so I
Yes.
feel in this conversation. And so all I need is we're going to work with one thought, because the one thought will give us the practice that's necessary in order that the next time somebody wants to come through and pull you off your square, pull you out your divine center, you know how to say, oh, no, 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 no. I recognize what you are looking to do. And frankly, I just choose not to. I just choose this higher elevation. I just choose this love thing. And so the thought that I want to work with tonight, and I need you to be the one to tell me, because we're just going to work directly with this thought. The thought that I want to know is, you can think about the last time that this person, and it could be any person, it could be this person that you were in the relationship with, it could be your own daughter, but the last time that someone triggered that sense of fear in you, that someone made you feel like you were uncertain, made you feel like you had to go along with whatever they were saying in order to be whole, in order to be safe. This question we will take our time with, because I need a definitive answer. And it's okay, however long it takes. But go back now into your mind. It could be this past week, but this past year. But I'm looking for that one thought that when it surfaces, when it comes up, you start to feel your heart palpitations. You start to feel your heart racing. You start to feel and remember that fear that if I don't stay in this relationship, if I don't accept this condition, if I don't accept this situation, I won't be safe.
Mhm. Mm. Big, I gotta think so. Ooh.
Take your time on this. Take your time.
I guess, shucks. This one is ooh. Wow, I'm sorry, I'm so stuck. Oh, wow.
We are in no
It's
hurry.
like
Everybody's
there,
kicking.
but it's not coming out. It's there.
Take as long as you need because this is the one thing that we need in order to start to produce
I
the
guess,
skill set.
I would say kinda being being a person to kinda, like, live out my life how I live out my life for me and not really for how other people expect me to live it, and always being, vocal about it. Um
Because I'm hearing you say, okay, live out your life how you want it to be, rather than how somebody else is saying that they want it to be for you. Right. And so
Yeah.
there had to be a specific moment where, and it could be a small thing. It don't need to be some big thing. It just be a small thing that reminded you that you were not doing that, that you were following somebody else's agenda as opposed to your own. It can be the simplest thing of someone deciding that, oh, we'll take my car and not yours. Or someone always needing to make sure that they had some form of control, be it over finances, over a bank account, whatever the case is. It can be a big thing or a small thing, but I'm looking for that
Yeah.
one memory. The exercise itself is important, just to be able to go back and say, okay, wait, where was this moment?
Mhm. Dang. I had to go deep. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I should have been writing down these questions because and I'm kinda nervous. Oh my gosh, let me calm down. I think that's what it is.
You're
I'm
perfectly fine. You're
nervous.
perfectly fine. I'm just looking for that one moment where that we can work with, because you'll see how we take a moment and we're gonna use it, but we have to be able to identify what that moment is, um, because there must have been some form of deciding to stay small when you know that there was another option. Even if you didn't know what the option was, you understand that, wait a minute, I this decision does not feel right.
Mhm.
And so I guess my question, is that relationship completely over?
Oh yeah, that relationship was from when I was 21 years old. I'm 35 now, but it was yeah, it was from 21 up until, 33, so it was, on and off, but it took up a lot of my time, so
Okay, so this relationship really just ended for real, about it looks like it sounds like 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, a little over that. It's been a little over that, but it was on and off. So I guess that I mean, I could say that situation, um, made me feel like I couldn't remain small. Like I had big dreams and I couldn't being in that situation, there were no dreams. So, yeah, I could have sat there, for love or whatever. Um, but yeah, I couldn't remain small.
So my question is like, when was that moment of feeling like the last moment in that relationship that you remember of being made to feel small or just feeling small in general based off of how that interaction was going, based off of how that relationship was?
Um, that's how I was treated. Just thinking back to when in like 2021, I was broken up with, and the way I was treated during that time, it just it really had me sit there and like reflect. Like I was worth more than what I was putting myself up with. And I was allowing that to like interfere with a lot of my life, like work. um, again, the way that I was treating my child. It had a lot of effect on me. And yeah, yeah, I had to really talk to myself like, this is not this is not how you deserve to be treated. So
But the thing is, so I'm hearing you say, okay, so yes, the relationship started showing up not just in the relationship with your own daughter, but in your own work. You dig what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like you've got a situation where this pain, this relationship is taking up so much space that it's starting to pull you off a square across dimensions of your life, right? And
mhm,
so my real question is how is this still showing up for you? Because if it's a situation where you've already done the healing, you've already done the situation, then we ain't got nothing to talk about. But if it's a situation where you're like, wait a minute, what's to stop that exact same thing from happening again? You
mhm,
know, like what's to stop that exact same thing from another person to come through? This time it's not 21, this time it's 35. And so there's expectations about what happens after 35, and there's expectations about relationships and what you look like. You know what I'm saying? Like society will place those expectations on,
mhm.
and so it's like what's this how does the core of that issue, which really was about playing small, allowing somebody else to occupy more space, more energy than they were
Mhm.
capable of regenerating for you. Does that still show up anywhere? Is that still an issue? Is it still something that's like, wait a minute, what?
Um,
I want to be able to handle these boundaries.
no, I don't feel like it's still an issue. Um, I've been I'm still in progress of everything. I've been healing or on this healing journey since 20 like 2024. Yeah. Like 2024 I like started taking it seriously. Um so I don't know, like I feel like if you're bad energy or whatever, I don't have a problem at this point of like letting you go. I'm not about to allow you to affect my energy. Like I've learned that it's too precious to just be giving it out to anybody. And like more recently, I've been Like the discernment has been serious. So if I feel something isn't right, I just allow it to reveal itself and just be good with it.
Okay, so I'm hearing you say that you're recognizing you've been on a healing journey. You've been doing therapy. You've been actively involved.
Mhm,
But what I don't want you to do tonight is, feel like, oh wait, because there's people looking, I can't really say what's real. I can't really say what's on my mind to say. And this is not I don't do I do not force people to say anything. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is like we wouldn't be on a call today if there wasn't something that was still lingering. Maybe not even from this situation,
mhm,
right? That there's still something. And I think that one of the things it is that we say, oh well, it's live, and so oh dang, it's you know what I'm saying, and we shut. But I don't want you to shut down. I don't want you to be like, oh damn, let me just get up off because it's uncomfortable to face any of these questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just jump off. I know that we wouldn't be talking if there wasn't something that was still operating in the background for you. And frankly, I wouldn't feel like I served you unless I had offered this moment up to say, wait a second, let's let's face this.
mhm.
Let's deal with this. And so the question that I'm having for you is, when it's coming to life right now, when it's coming to the thoughts that keep you up at night, what's the one thing that you're still looking to heal?
Um, the one thing that I'm still looking to heal is the relationship that I had with my mom. Uh, and then of course the relationship that I have with my daughter.
Okay. So now we're getting to the heart of it. So it's not so much about this prior relationship that ended 2 years ago. It's about how you still show up for the people who love you the most. Can you describe Felicity just texted me and said that your daughter is in high school. Can you describe what that relationship with your mom and daughter is like and why they're connected?
Um, so the relationship with my mom, I love my mother a lot. Um, but she can be a lot. Uh, and I guess we just kind of like clash. Um, just growing up, she was always fussing at us, never really like communicating properly, not really having conversations and stuff like that. But she did the best that she could. She still was a good mother despite all of that, and I still do appreciate her now. But it's just kind of hard to deal with her. So, um,
All right. So what do you mean it's kind of hard to deal with her like, like because obviously you don't still live with your moms, you know what I'm saying? Like, or if you do, then that's a whole different sort of situation. So what do you mean that it's hard to deal with her today?
because she just still fuss and she's never like she doesn't she's old school. Like, you know how old school parents, they weren't really some of them. I don't know, like she's not like considerate of people's time. It's just it's like, all right, like she don't respect boundaries. Mm. And I've been working with her. Like I'm trying. This is
Okay,
a
so you
lot.
have you have a sort of an annoyance. We call it like an annoyance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like mom Dukes is kind
Yes.
of annoying. Like
Yes, like, it's I love her, but it's annoying. Oh my gosh, it's annoying. And
And
I've
so
been
so
annoyed since I was younger. Oh my god.
so how do you set boundaries with her? You know, like when she comes through and says, I imagine sometimes for me it shows up, you know what I'm saying, like when the parents have an opinion about how you do your parenting. You dig what I'm saying? Like for you know, we got the baby a playpen, and Mom Dukes is talking about, oh, you can't leave her in the playpen because she'll climb up out of that. And I'm like, it's twice her height. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like there are these places where there's almost like these reaches that feel like invalidation. It feel like, oh, so you don't trust me to figure this out? Like, did you really just question me about something that's so simple? You dig? Like where does that
Yeah. My mother had something to say about everything. Oh my gosh. Like, she has an opinion for everything. So, yeah, like
So are you feeling like you know because I'm looking for like how does this connect over with your daughter because it sounds like if your daughter is in high school then she's of that age where you know what I'm saying like now people got opinions. She got her own opinions. You dig what I'm saying? So grandma got opinions, but you know what I'm saying the daughter got opinions too. So you know where do you see this link? Like you know how would you say that your relationship with your mother affects your relationship with your daughter?
um so I would say I have opinions too. I gotta take accountability for that. Mm. Um yeah, it's like it's little things and big things that I notice that I actually do like my mother. And I'm like, no, like I gotta cut that one out. Like fussing. Um Yeah, like, I noticed that I fuss at my child like we used to get fussed at, and I don't wanna do that. I'm overdoing it. That's not the solution to fixing a problem. It just make them not wanna talk to us more if we fussing at them. So,
So have
yeah,
you seen
that's what
that?
I'm working on.
Have you seen that? Have you seen your daughter kind of shut down after you've been very vocal about something? Because you said you're opinionated too, so you know what I'm saying. You coming through,
Yeah, I have. Mhm.
and so when you see her shutting down, does that at all remind you of what your reaction was when you were still living with your mother?
Mm,
So what I'm looking to get at is like you can tell that there's something that you want to address, but at the same time, it's like if it's if someone's listening for the first time, they might be like, wait, this don't sound like everybody got a problem with their family. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people are kind of looking for like, okay, well, what's the where here is the actual issue? You dig what I'm saying? Like, where here is the actual
mhm,
problem or situation? Because people having opinions is one thing, but people invalidating other people based on those opinions and not having a way to communicate, that's a different way. That's a whole different thing. And so the real question I'm asking is like, when you start hearing your mother's opinions, when you start hearing these different ideas, and also when you share your opinions with your daughter, you dig what I'm saying? And when you start sharing your ideas with your daughter, what's the feeling? Does it feel like, wait a second, I just invalidated this person, or does it feel like something else?
mm, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's the feeling of, like, being unheard, if that makes sense. Um,
So not only does it make sense, like there's people I see people in the chat. One person saying you're so brave, but here's someone. The name is Tyra Leslie. I don't know what the rest. I don't know. I don't know.
that's
Do
my
you know this?
cousin. Yeah.
Okay, so that's your cousin. So Tyra's saying, not feeling as you have a voice. So Tyra, I think, said this a minute ago, and I can't always see the chat, y'all, because what I'm saying, I'm talking to Janelle for real.
Yeah.
But she's saying not
Yeah,
feeling
it's
as
being
if you have a voice.
yeah, being unheard and not feeling like like I have a voice. Thank you. She bringing my up. Thank you.
So
Ooh,
cuz no. So but so Tyra keeps going. She says, not feeling as if you have a voice and trying to please everyone, including family,
yeah,
allowing people to get over on you, including your passion for hair.
yeah, yeah. So feeling like I didn't have a voice, and that comes from the household. But then feeling like I wasn't really being protected around other people. Wasn't really not having a voice and then not feeling protected. Like when it came to my mom, like not standing up for me when other people around me, family, were, you know, like just not standing up for her daughter, but not really knowing how, I guess, because she didn't have a voice or she wasn't allowed to really have a voice.
And does this show up? Tyra saying you have a passion for hair. And I can see your hair is on fleek. Do people still say that? They say on fleek. Not in Baltimore. I know y'all don't say that no more. But like the hair is wonderful.
Thank
Is there
you.
a passion for hair where you felt like
I used
that
to
there
have
was
a
something?
passion for hair. Sorry. I was gonna say I used to when I was younger. Like I started growing up, I did hair and I was in Cosmo. And I did like really great in Cosmo, like really great. Won like all the competition styles and those things. But I had a fear. I was scared to mess up somebody's hair and then I was discouraged by like my family, honestly. Like I was discouraged. I didn't feel like it was I got the support that I really should have been getting. Um, but I don't feel like going all the way into that. But um, I kind of stopped doing hair because I just got discouraged, and it was a lot to do with like my surroundings that did it.
So Janelle, one thing I'm hearing over and over throughout this conversation is I'm hearing you say, okay, there was not a voice strong enough, right, in the household that made me feel safe, right? Like there would be times when other people would come around and you felt like you didn't have that same support from your mom in your corner, right? You're
Mhm.
saying, okay, well, I didn't feel like I had a voice, and I know she didn't feel like she had one. And so when the moment came for somebody to say something, no one could, right? When the moment came for somebody to say something, hey, you should stay with your cosmos dreams. You stay with the passion, even if it wasn't your passion and things are allowed to change. The feeling that you are brave enough, courageous enough, that your voice matters, those feelings, it sounds like we're not properly cultivated. And so shout out to Tyra for allowing us to just get a little bit more of that insight, because as Tyra was saying, not feeling like you have that voice, what's so interesting is that if you don't feel like, Janelle, somebody was speaking up for you, somebody wasn't there to necessarily protect the energy of your environment so that you could stand and be all that you wanted to be.
Mhm.
Well, then what happens is that you end up following somebody else's voice. You end up following and doing what somebody else wants you to do. Even into a relationship, of course, that's what we're talking about this one that ended 2 years ago. If there is not a strong enough center, then the voice that you felt like your mother didn't allow you to have, you end up passing that same sense of non-protection along to your own child in that particular situation, in that relationship. So I'm just drawing a through line to say, oh, okay, somebody is feeling voiceless, somebody's feeling like they're not being protected, and which really means that somebody's feeling like there's not somebody who's blocking for them, blocking all this excess energy, all this excess intention from other people. Somebody doesn't feel like that. So guess what? When you get into a relationship, however this person that you're with treats you, you end up treating somebody else. Why? Because there was an inability to establish the energetic boundaries, the ability to say, you know what, I'm not, I know what I am, I know what I'm doing. I can hear my own voice. I don't need to listen to yours if it does not harmonize with mine. Right? I don't need to listen to this other person's voice, this other outsider's voice, if it does not harmonize with mine. And so today, let's go ahead and work with that. Let's go ahead and get to the piece, because I wanted to make sure that I was properly understanding and getting a sense of where we were and where we are. And so what I like to do is I like to introduce people to tools, right? These tools are what we call in this space, we call in the Breakthrough Live the conscious transformation technologies, right? We call them like conscious, like technologies of the mind, technologies that we can use to go back and look honestly at our own past, look honestly at our own behavior, look honestly at our own feelings, and begin to transform them consciously, right? As opposed to busying ourselves with some other activity, with a drink, with the weed, with the gambling, with whatever. Instead, we take this simple time to return to tools that we can use anywhere, whether it be this situation or another. And what I like is the beautiful part about tonight, Janelle, is that what we're about to do, you'll be able to keep with you forever. So it won't matter what comes on the scene for you, how life changes, what goes down. You'll have a tool that you can keep forever that allows you to create that energetic boundary, that place where people can't come through with their own energy, their own baggage, with their own loudness, their own voices, and deter what you know is true for you. And so that's the real value that I want to go ahead and get to. And so if you're ready, we're going to do a simple exercise. And everybody in the chat, I certainly welcome you to join in. And as we do this exercise, sometimes I like to paint a picture that we can use. And it's okay if the picture is not quite right, right? The picture will be just a little bit different than how you see it. But I want to go back into these memories, and I want to be able to show how we can deal with, process, transform even the energy inside of that we're given to these memories, and begin to apply that energy to something fresh, something new, something loving,
Mm.
something divine. And so if you're ready, let's go ahead and begin that now. Let me ask you, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So Janelle, with me now, if you'll close your eyes and take one deep breath in with me, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Tonight, Janelle, we're going to go back into your childhood. We're just going to go to one scene. What's so important is that we're taking the time just to remember, to face that moment when you felt voiceless. And so, right now, with your eyes closed, this is the time to be brave and to go back in to your childhood home, but go back in and see the young girl who is young Janelle in her room, the very moment after she can feel this tight constraint or restriction around her throat, that feeling of voicelessness. Just go to that moment and notice how her body feels. You must be brave for this. Notice how her shoulders tighten up. And notice how alone she feels, how closed off she feels. Do your best to see the room that you were standing in, the bunk beds, the patterns on the ceiling. And right inside of this memory, right inside of this memory, I want this young Janelle to close her eyes and focus on her heart. And inside of her heart, inside of her chest, is a white, bright light. And this white light is love itself. Right there, young Janelle is feeling this white light shining within her chest. And this white light is love. Ooh. I want you to see this white light of love shining so brightly that it shines into young Janelle's throat. This love goes right into young Janelle's throat. And this love expands. This white light of love expands. It's radiating through Janelle's throat, her chest, her legs, even her hands. You must feel this. Even now, feel this love radiating inside of you, in your chest, rising up into your throat, shining brighter still, filling up your entire body. Oh, this love feels so good. Notice that when young Janelle feels this love, feel it for her. Feel it rise into the throat, shine into the throat until this love expands the throat. It opens the throat. Love takes all the restrictions off. Love takes all the baggage off. Feel how relieved young Janelle is, standing in her room, now that she is radiating with love. Just as young Janelle is radiating with love, you too are now radiating with love. You too can feel how this white light of love, it erases the restrictions in the throat. It erases the tightness in the throat. Feel it now. This love light, it keeps shining brighter and brighter. Make this love light shine so brightly, as bright as you can get it, like a star in the chest. And notice wherever this love goes, wherever this love light goes, everything it touches becomes soft and open. Let this love light shine. Feel this love light shining into your throat, and the throat opens and expands. Feel this love light shining into your shoulders. Oh, and the shoulders relax. Feel this love light shining into your torso. And your heart opens. Inside of this memory, now that you are radiating with love, I want you to see young Janelle radiating completely in love from her head to her toes. Everything is radiating in this white light of love. You see a gentle smile appear on her face. She knows she's blessed. Watch her glow. Watch her glow. And right now, see this white light of love expanding, all radiating from little Janelle's chest and expanding into the entire room is filled with the white light. The entire room in your childhood home is being filled with the white light of love. It's so bright, radiating completely from your heart. Every single thing in this room is being touched by the white light of love. Now expand this white light until it covers the entire house. Everything and everyone is being touched by this love. This love is pure. This love is unconditional. Most importantly, see this white light of love enter into your mother as she cooks in the kitchen. Her normally stoic face, watch how it changes when the white light of love completely enters her body and blesses everything. Watch how love opens her throat. Watch how love shines so brightly in her body that her mood literally changes. She knows she's blessed now. Watch this white light of love shine throughout her entire body. Watch her smile. She closes her eyes and she says, "Thank you, Janelle, for loving me. Thank you for this love." Your entire house is glowing in the white light of love. And young Janelle, see her face one last time and watch her say thank you to you for loving me. And as you return to this present moment, keep that white light of love radiating throughout your body, radiating from your chest. Keep letting it shine. Feel how love fills you and know that this love is God itself. Know that this love is God. When you're ready, say thank you for this love.
Thank you for
Thank you
this
for
love.
this love. And you may open your eyes. I just have one question, which is checking in right now. What is your feeling? What do you feel?
really, um, like a weight honestly was lifted after that. So thank you.
I should say thank you for you, right? Because
Mm.
you did it all. And what's so interesting is that if you have the power and you can create something that was once heavy for you, you were able through this real power to lift
Mhm.
that weight off. I just have another question, which is, do we have to go to the store in order to buy any of to buy this feeling, to buy this experience for you? Do we have to make a purchase of some sort?
No.
So if we didn't have to go buy this experience, if we didn't have to go buy this power from somewhere else, from external, from
Mhm.
any place else on earth, where was this ability the entire time to make something that was once heavy go light?
It's within yourself. You can tap into yourself.
But do you feel like you can tap into yourself now?
Mhm. I do, and I love it.
Then regardless of whatever else happened, that capacity, just that understanding is enough for me for one evening. That is enough for me for one
Mhm.
evening. And so I just want to say thank you so much for coming to the Breakthrough Live and taking this time to face everything and what you faced it with. This is the part, like what you faced it with. You didn't face it with no anger. You didn't face it with no aggression. You didn't face it with distraction. You faced it with love.
Mhm.
And so, one of the quotes of the Bible that I really love the most is, John 4:16 says that if that God is love and that whosoever abides in love abides in God. And so when we're allowing something that's bigger than us to carry us, it seems like those weights get lifted a lot easier because we don't have to use our hands. We're using something. There's a greater force that has taken over for us.
Mhm.
And so I'm going to say thank you for coming on the Breakthrough Live and have a blessed evening. And I would still like to know, I'm gonna
You.
follow up with you in a week. I want to see what you're talking about. I want to see just an email form. I just want to see like, I just want to see. I just want to see. I'll leave it at that for right now. You have the last word.
Thank you. This was fun. How many people was watching? Because I'm just curious. Did you see that?
I don't know until I know. You know what I'm saying? I don't even check for real, like you know what I'm saying? But let me get to the chat right now, and if you like, you can still tune into the show because I've still got something here for folks. And so once again, I can't thank you enough for this. It is just a very special who we touch tonight just by your being brave, your ability to come up and work through. I don't know, don't
Mhm.
need to know, but somebody out there
Right.
needed to bear witness to what love can do. And I just thank you for showing them.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. Bye bye. Okay. All right. All right, folks. So where we at? Where we at with the chat? You know what I'm saying? Took a minute for me to. He says thank you for bringing. Yes, twin says thank you for bringing beautiful energy. Other twin says thank you, Janelle. Pure bravery. Absolutely. 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 Did you notice what had to happen? Thank you. Shout out to Tyra. Shout out to Cuz for being in the room. Tyra was saying that the communication growing up wasn't good and it passed down to the way you communicate with your daughter. Right. So we were seeing that we talk about voicelessness, we're talking about a blockage in the throat. And the beautiful part is that with the kit that we just did with Janelle, we were able to go back into her memory and address that very blockage at the place where it started. You might say, okay, well, I don't think it does not matter the extent to which we practice perfectly tonight. The fact that we got to see, we got to witness, we got to work through together, that's critical. But you notice what she said? It's the same thing that twin said when he was on the Breakthrough Live. Like there's a weight that's been lifted. How wonderful it is when we don't have to be the ones to lift the weight. You might say, okay, well, I think y'all could have went even deeper. I think y'all could have got even more. Okay, that's great. But the reality is that our ability to turn attention to the places where we really don't want to be looking, and then not to just fight that with anger, with aggression, with frustration, with a lesser energy, but to respond to it with love. Hmm. Hmm. At a point, it's not even about what happens on the show. It's about seeing that if even a fraction of this is real, even 10% of it is real, how profound. How profound. The ability to go back into our own memories and use them as sites for psychoneurological intervention. Use them as sites to allow the divine to flow through. Yeah. Yeah. And for real, it can be hard to come up on the breakthrough live. You know what I'm saying? Because it means that you know what I'm saying. We're trying to get to the. It can be a challenge for real to even be brave enough to get up on here. Then once you on here, it's kind of like oh. But I'm telling you this: that to be able to face these situations, to be able to face what we think is a minor issue, right? At first, Janelle was telling us about her relationship with her mom, and it kind of sounded like I was like, okay, well, this ain't too bad. She was telling us about the relationship with the daughter. I was like, oh, not that bad. Like, I don't know if I can help here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really. But then we get to the fact that, oh wait, it's not really the relationship, it's not really the bickering, it's not really the banter, it's not really the problem is really not just with the fact that her mother's got an opinion or that she got an opinion. The situation was really with feeling unheard. And if that is happening in childhood, think about how that affected her in choosing relationships where she felt unheard. And then took similar behaviors and passed them on to or used them on her own daughter. And now we'd have to get the daughter here, but the conditions are set for that young person to feel unheard. So what we do, we went back to the start. We went back to the start and we made sure that we dealt with three people. We've dealt with Janelle, the young girl who first felt frustrated, who first felt unheard. Shout out to Janelle for being on the show. And this is live, champ. So you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it'll take a minute to get there. We worked with three people inside of one memory. We worked with the young Janelle. Actually, I could say four. We worked with the young Janelle. We worked with the older Janelle, the current Janelle, the present Janelle. We worked with her mother, and we worked with the home. The home is the fourth person. Why do I say that? Because when something happens inside of your home, when the memory of that home triggers inside of your mind, you begin to associate your experiences with that trigger. You begin to associate your memory of home. Your memory of home can be a lot of different things, but one of them, in Janelle's case, was it was the place where her childhood was the place where she didn't quite feel protected. And so we represent that inside the home, the actual home structure, the place of origination. So the childhood home is more than just the actual walls of the crib she was in. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, no, no. Symbolically, it represents a site of birth, a site of origination, both inside of the memory and outside. And so when we go back into the memory, it's not that we need to have an actual replica of the memory. It's not the memory, it's the way in which Janelle is remembering the past, how she's choosing to make meaning. We go back into that place. And the very conditioning, the very patterns that set up this need to heal her relationship with her daughter and heal her relationship with her mother was actually about healing her relationship with herself. In the very place that few would ever think to go back and look.